everyone, and how's it going? Thank you guys so much for all of your patience and everything when it came to um, having to reschedule my live stream because the wonderful joy of living in Southern California is we don't know how to handle inclement weather very well. And by I mean inclement weather for California, especially Southern California, is any type of 1 inches of rain or better can be considered inclement weather. The one thing we have and we don't know how to deal with is high heat. So the weather can get anywhere from 110 to 120 here. And it sucks because as much as it can handle the heat, it cannot handle like heat plus rain. So or and wind. So and we have been having random bouts of both. Like all of a sudden we'll get like a little message on the TV or on Alexa or anything on our devices that's like, no, Alexa, I'm not talking to you. And it'll just say like severe weather storm, blah blah blah, and like making it a big deal. And apparently it didn't handle fair weather with my internet service provider. And yesterday at right before the intended broadcast time, it decided to go out, and I was really upset by that. And so I just hopped in the car and went with Fluffy to his location for his 6-year anniversary stream, which if you have not checked that out, it is in my community tab. Please go ahead and check out that stream. He was checking out an abandoned Shell gas station that I personally used to work at as a teenager, and it has really gone downhill, and it's obviously had people like, camping out in it and all kinds of stuff. But it was a really interesting stream and a great way to celebrate his 6 years on YouTube. So if you haven't done so, please check that out. So the month of August, the full moon in August is known as a Sturgeon moon. So why is it called that? Well, the Algonquin tribes of North America decided to call August the Sturgeon moon because in the Great Lakes of America, this is the time when the sturgeon are in like abundance, and it was a great time to catch sturgeon at this time. So they thusfully have in all of the almanacs referred to the August full moon as a sturgeon moon. And ironically, it was also a supermoon and the last supermoon of the year 2022. And what does that mean? What is a full moon, or what is a supermoon when in correlation of the full moon? Well, the full moon normally is a large moon, right? We look at it and it's very bright and it's very illuminating. But this one reaches it, well, last night, it would have reached its fullness at 0.19 degrees of Aquarius and could have been seen at its primeval peak at around 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this full moon invigorates us to connect with our networks and socialize and embrace being part of the tribe that is us. So that's really cool. But what is a supermoon? Like, why does that look like, why is that important? And with a super moon, what it basically means is that moon is going to appear astronomically bigger in the plexus of the normality of a full moon. So it just appears because it has a correlation where it is larger in appearance, but also when you say it's closer in duration and stuff like that, and it can cause high tides, and it can cause, some fun stuff that happens with Earth at that time. So it could just, in the lightest form, it just makes it's more intense. Okay, that's basically what it does. Alrighty then. So I have been on a kick of doing the signs per elements lately, and I think I'm going to continue that with this reading since I did do the full or the new moon reading per the elements, and I went in the order of earth, air, fire, water. So we're going to flip that and we're going to go water, fire, air, earth this week. Okay, so I am using a newer deck. It's not super duper new, but it's new within the last year to me. That is the moon deck, not the new moon deck, but it's new, but to me, the moon deck. It is by Arona Leah and illustrated by Andrea Kay. and it's a very gorgeous deck. This isn't quite mass market yet. You can get it at themoondeck.com. It's like a beautifully done deck. I love the weight of it, the cardstock of it. I love just the details and the amount of information that's put into it. The guidebook is awesome. You get a lot of information per card. But I'm gonna do a full review on this deck and upload it as well. I've got a ton of reviews that I need to do for you guys, but I have just had so much going on, and if you follow me on social media at all, you will know that I've recently had two very substantial losses in my family, and I am trying to pick up the slack for my family in the ways that I absolutely can, and it's been pretty draining to me. So I haven't taken a peek at my chat because I am trying to open this deck real quick. Which, by the way, we're also going to be using the Moon Magic deck by Stacey DeMarco. It's a small, you know how I love my pocket decks. Ooh, this one's got like a matte finish to it. I've had these for, I love the pocket decks, the pocket oracles and pocket tarots and all that because I have small hands. And so I've had this one on my shelf for a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I'm going to say like 9 months, and I haven't opened it yet. So we're going to use it here. But let me take a peek at everybody in the chat real quick. I just want to give you guys all some greetings and some love because you guys totally got like Axl Rosed by me not being able to go live the other day. And I know I was supposed to go live at 10:30 this morning, but I had some stuff come up, and yeah, it just seems like my life is pretty darn chaotic right now, and I do apologize. But Jedi and Lydia and Christopher, nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. My awesome nubs, Lydia Moon and Jan. Hey sis. And I think I'm caught up with everybody. But if you guys will go ahead and share this out, that will be great. I'm over there showing off my phone to you guys. Didn't even realize it. But we're going to go ahead and start off with our amazing water signs. So we're going to go Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And on the full moon, or on the new moon reading, I did it where I read it by the quarters, but then I realized that that probably doesn't make too much sense to people that aren't into the zodiac as much or astrology. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a single card from the moon deck. We're going to clarify it with a couple of tarot cards and then close it off with a moon magic oracle card. Sound good? All right, we're going to go ahead and do that. So Cancer. Just going to see what information, what guidance we're bringing in via this wonderful full super moon to kind of help you weave your way through, you know, life and its challenges for the next 2 weeks up until the new moon shows up, usually about 2 weeks or so. All right, so messages for Cancer. All righty. So Cancer, here it says, I welcome clear vision and inspired action. Hey, Haley. So, you welcome clear vision or you should be welcoming a clearer vision and inspired action. So basically what this is telling you is, you know, when you come into anything, any situation, circumstance, or anything like that, come into it with an open mind so that you can see things for what they are and what they need to be and how you can take that energy and manifest it into proper balance for yourself. But let's go ahead and get a few tarot clarifiers for you, Cancer, and see if we can make this pinpoint more towards you, make it resonate just a little bit stronger. Hopefully everyone is doing amazing. Clarify this card for Cancer. Here we go. Okay. And ironically, you get the moon. Let me just get one more card to clarify this for Cancer. Perfect. So options. So Page of Pentacles, the Moon card, and the Seven of Cups. So what I'm seeing here, Cancer, is you probably have something that is opening up in your business or personal life. Things may not, you may not have all the information yet, which is probably why it's saying, I want to welcome everything forward as much as I possibly can with that inspired action, your Page of Pentacles. So it's like you're not quite into the movement of it. You're not quite moving towards that just so rapidly, like a knight would or anything like that. Maybe because you want more information, but you're opening yourself up to it with that Seven of Cups. So basically, this is just really, really reiterating what is already right there, is being open and, knowing that you may not have all the answers just yet, but they will be coming. And, just be open to them and know that it's probably going to provide you with some options, is what I'm getting from this. Is, it's not going to be as, cutthroat, clean and dry as like just this decision or this decision. I think it's going to open you up a lot further than you envisioned. Look at how beautiful that card is. I have power. It is real. So you have the ability, once you find out everything, once you're open to that information, Cancer, I think that this is going to be dramatically, obviously empowering to you in the sense that you're going to be able to utilize it for what you want. Not so much like I'm working for the man or I'm working towards a specific goal. It's more so going to be the goal is working for me. You know what I mean? Hopefully that came across properly. My words have been a little trippy lately. I got a lot going on. So, but, in that sense of like, I'm not relying on something. Something is relying towards me. It's my actions that are going to be producing the greater good. And I have the option to pick whatever action I want and produce whatever it is I desire. So I think that's a really cool reading, Cancer. All righty. So now we're going to move along to our Scorpios. Messages for Scorpio from this new moon, full moon. I'm getting my moons all screwed up. Full moon, this full Sturgeon moon, this moon that makes you want to like get out there and celebrate and socialize and utilize your social activities for your greater good. This is a very powerful super moon that's going to intensify your goals. This one's really good in correlation with that new moon that was in Leo, where it's up to you what you manifest, and it's telling you to go out there and manifest like really amazing stuff, like your highest goals and your highest dreams. And if you haven't been doing that, you should be. I know I have. I've had a lot of crazy stuff go on, but I've also had amazing stuff going on. So make sure that you're, putting it out there so that the universe can hear you. So 2 cards came out for Scorpio. We're going to take both of them because I don't determine the messages. Spirit does. And if they give me more than 1 card, then it's meant to be. Healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. I free myself from critical thoughts towards my body and my worth. Okay. So this is a good point, especially when we're talking about social media and things like that, to put up healthy boundaries about what people say and think of you. Remember, if you follow me on Twitter, I have a pinned post that is very specific about opinions, especially other people's opinions. If, everybody has an opinion, then they're probably not worth very much. But yours is, all right? Because yours is the one that matters, because that's the one that you carry. Don't carry everybody else's, because you know what? Yeah, they're nice to know in some instances, but they're not as important as you think they are. So, hey Slim. Hey Arcadia. I'm just looking to see that Arcadia message retracted. Was Arcadia spam or something? And there's my fluff. Anywho. So with this, it's good to keep healthy boundaries of realizing what is good for you and what is not good for you, and knowing that, yes, people are going to say things. Things are going to come up that even might want to persuade your thought process. Don't let it take what you need and leave the rest. Don't carry the thoughts and opinions of everybody else just because everybody else is following that thought process. How long do they truly follow it? Like, you guys remember that we had trends before. Like, how many people do you know are running around with big looped bangs and wearing neon tights and, leg warmers and all of that and cut off sweatshirts and everything from the 80s. Are we still following? Well, some people do it. Some people do it, but it's not the most major form of trends, right? And at the time, everybody said that was what was cool. That was what was happening. If you didn't follow this, you weren't shit. Now everybody kind of, there's a new trend. There's a new formation of what is acceptable in appearance. So just know that the trends are going to fade away. If somebody's opinions, it's like emotions, they change rapidly. All right. Sometimes some are held a little bit stronger than others, but emotions can change. They are flexible, they are variable. So don't hold someone's opinion too strongly. Don't let it interfere with your opinion and what you hold near and dear and true to yourself. Okay. And I free myself from critical thoughts towards my body and my worth. And that's exactly what I was just saying is, what there might be somebody holding an opinion of what makes you valuable or determines your status quo, or somebody may determining your worth on your projects and what you produce in this world. Maybe they're determining how beautiful you are based off of, like I said, the status quo or what people see as sociably normal. And hey, Bud Files, um, it, don't do that. Like I said, transitions happen so rapidly that almost it almost doesn't pay you in dividends to keep someone's opinion as law in your mind. Yet we do it so easily. We will follow somebody else so vigorously because they said it was right or moralistically a code. When I will tell you this much, morality is one of the most subjective things in our world. What is good for one may not be good for another, and if it isn't, they will hide themselves while they're still doing that item, okay? Some people, that's what we get, skeletons in the closet, right? Nobody knows I did it, so I'm fine. I'm free from sin, right? While you're judging somebody else for exactly what you're doing. There's people out there like that. So we're all in our flesh suits, right? We are capable of all kinds of stuff because we are constantly learning. So don't try to confuse a student for a professor. That's what I'm trying to get at. And when you free yourself from all of that, you are rejuvenated, you are uplifted, you are whole, you are one, you are complete. I want to just get some tarot cards to clarify this message specifically to you, Scorpio. That, me bantering on is just kind of like an overall message for those who are listening, who may be needing to hear that message that aren't a Scorpio. Maybe Scorpio's in your chart. Also, if your sign isn't 100% resonating, you do check with your moon and rising signs, as those may better suit you as well. So if you have Scorpio in your chart and this message is hitting you, maybe it's because this message might be for you. Alrighty. So I have the Page of Rods here with the Five of Swords, and I have the Six of Cups. Page of Rods is in the reverse, so that inverted energy means that normally you would have some fire and tenacity about something. You would normally want to go forward with it a lot stronger, but perhaps at this time you feel very, very defeated. You feel like, these are temporary gains. When I gain something, it's very temporary. It doesn't stick. And with this Six of Cups energy, I'm getting this very reminiscent, I remember how it used to be type energy. I remember how strong I was. I remember how determined I was. And I'm not feeling that right now. I'm feeling like I need something. What you need right now, Scorpio, is probably your boundaries. You need to state your boundaries. You need to reinforce yourself. You need to take care of yourself, ultimately. Scorpios are very, very intuitive. And I know as I'm saying this to you, you're like either resistant because you already know, or you're like, oh my God, that's right. Because Scorpios can be like that. You can be a little bit, stubborn in your energy. But overall, you know it. And as it flows out, you're like, yeah, she was right. She was correct. And this is just very well-known knowledge for anybody, not just a Scorpio, but for the Scorpios right now, this new moon, this full moon rather, is helping you bring forward. Maybe we need to review the new moon reading because I keep mentioning it. I keep accidentally slipping that off my tongue. But you definitely need to remember that the way you felt before was because you had a stronger sense of boundary. You had a stronger sense of self. Therefore, other outside and external opinions or external energies could not penetrate and impact you. And lately they have been. Maybe you've been off on your own a little bit more. Maybe you have felt less guarded. Maybe just things have occurred that you're like, you know what, I don't have as strong of a handle that I'm more, normally associated with. So that might all be the case, Scorpio, and that might be what you need to hear right now. So let's go ahead and close this off with a Moon Magic Oracle, just to kind of seal our energies a little bit. So, message for Scorpio. Oh my, there's 3 final messages for Scorpio, and we're going to be cool and we're going to take them because there might be a Scorpio out there that really needs to hear everything that's coming towards them. There might be a little bit of difficulty for a specific Scorpio or so. I shine my light outwards for all to see. Now, if most Scorpios, they are center stage. You guys are so good at entertaining others. You guys are so good at being the light in the room. You're that presence that illuminates everything. And you do that so that others can't tell what's really going on inside. Okay? You guys are some of the most brainful people when it comes to, being able to hide your fears and your hurts and things like that. Hey, Wicked Bro. I am loved beyond measure. That's something you need to remember at all points, that even if something is making you feel shitty, you can let that one go because you have so many more that adore you. Because you are always center stage and you are always making people feel amazing. And because of that, people enjoy you. They want you around. They love you. Some of it might be superficial and that's okay, but you do have quite a few that are going to love you intensely, genuinely, and without any type of measurement or consideration for, reciprocation. They just want to love you for who you are. I seek truth and act upon my realizations. Okay. So as you're going forward and putting out those boundaries and learning things, you are going to be learning about what you need to be allowing in and out at all times. And, you might sit there and be like, okay, I need to put up more of a border with this person or a boundary with them. I may not be able to be as available for this person as I would like to be, or I may not be able to get as involved in this as I need to be. I need to, maybe dare I say, there's a Scorpio out there that needs to learn time management and only allowing so much time for this project, so much time for this project, and so much time for self. You need to put some self in there, okay? Because there is a specific Scorpio out there that is probably, a specific one or two or many that might be struggling a lot with self-realization and self-fulfillments right now. Alrighty. So our last water sign, our awesome Pisces. So let's go ahead and get some messages for Pisces at this time. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I always get the Star Wars theme in my head when I shuffle. I have since I was little. Little meaning like a young teen. But I always get that in my head, so I'm always when I shuffle. So if you hear me hum that, that's because it's always been in my head every time I shuffle. Do I know why? No, I do not. Okay, so messages for Pisces. All right, I am ready. Thank you. Hello. Pisces is just coming in strong. So, need I say more? Need I say more? I think we're going to go ahead and go straight to the tarot on this one and get some clarification or guided energy towards this message for Pisces for this amazing August Sturgeon full moon. And if you did not get to charge your crystals, charge your decks, make moon water, have that full moon bath, you still have time to do that. The full moon still carries its energy, not as strongly, but it's going to be pretty strong. still, because this is a supermoon, you can still do all that tonight. You have about a day or so more after the high point of the full moon to still utilize that energy. Okay, so if you didn't quite do that yesterday, something came up, like in my case, I had, overcast clouds and all that, so I wasn't going to get much energy out of it. You can still do that tonight. Okay, alrighty. That Ace of Swords. So that moment, you've got something really cool. And Ace of Rods, new beginnings. What the heck, Pisces? You're manifesting like the mind, the body. If I had an Ace of Cups, it would be like, all right, what you doing right here? Okay, but it's not coming just yet, and that's probably why you're like, I'm ready. All right. So mind's in place. Physical is in place, but it's not quite there yet. It's coming. It's definitely coming, and you know it's coming because you're ready. You've got that, like, the mind's ready. You've got that moment right here with that Ace of Swords, that new thoughts, new beginnings of the mind. And then with the Ace of Rods, which is also the Ace of Wands, but in this particular deck, it is rods, and that is like new fast movement. Like, you're literally going forward physically with something, but it's not quite ready just yet, or you're not heading in that direction just yet with that page of rods being inverted. There is some kind of like hesitation maybe, or you might be ready. You might have been waiting for a specific sign, in which case, welcome to my channel. So let's go ahead and get you a deep moon message from the Moon Magic deck. Alrighty, and we have, I seek truth and act upon my realization. So you could be waiting for, like I said, you could have been waiting for that message to come through. You might be waiting on an answer or a response from somebody at this time. And that's what I'm seeing from this reading completely, Pisces. I don't want to do too much of a interpretation or vocalization of the interpretation, because I think this is speaking very consecrated and true to a specific Pisces or specific group of Pisces. And I don't want my ego to influence or de-influence anything. So I'm going to leave it as such. I know sometimes I get a little more verbose on other people's readings. It is by no means a reflection of my opinion towards that sign or anything. It's just what the reading produces for me, and kind of, what comes to me when I'm doing the reading. So congratulations on your endeavors, Pisces. It sounds like things are going to be moving forward in an amazing direction, which is great, because I know Pisces has been struggling quite a bit lately with releasing things and allowing things in, and really, dealing with those energies. But you know what? Good things are ahead on the horizon. Just run with it. Just run with it, because you know what? Don't wait too long, because then, sometimes we miss our boats, Pisces. All right, next we are going into our fire signs. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, starting off with Aries. Messages for Aries from this beautiful Sturgeon full moon that has graced us this August. That amazing supermoon energy. Alrighty, messages for Aries. Okay, and we have healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. All right. So at this time, I think, Aries, you're learning how to assert those boundaries. You've been putting them up. If you haven't done so yet, this is definitely your sign to complete that task for your health, body, and overall balance. Let's go ahead and pull our tarot cards to kind of see where they want this message to go, or where we can get some guidance on where we can apply this better. I know there's probably some Aries out there that are like, I always have my boundaries up. But maybe this will give us some guidance on the situations. All right, we got the Ten of Swords. So things from the past trying to destroy you. But you know what? You've overcome so much because you've been putting up those boundaries. Okay, there's our other two. Balancing things to feel better overall. Okay, so with the money, the time, the effort, with that Two of Pentacles inverted, this card is all about physical, tangible balance. Like, well, not even physical, but just tangible balance overall in every aspect: mind, body, spirit, finances. Pentacles are all about earth energy, so things that are tangible, usually job related in many ways, but it also can be like your physical time being allotted to things, your ability to, give yourself to something, projects, people, emotions, things like that. those need to be put back into balance, because that is the only way that you're going to start feeling better about yourself. But you also need to be taking care of yourself. That Queen of Rods energy, Queen of Wands, is inverted right here, meaning that you are not necessarily feeling at your best. You know, things have drained you, and that's pretty obvious by that Ten of Swords right there. So past pain, mental pain, maybe you've gone through a cycle where, you know, bad stuff happened. Maybe you're trying to balance yourself out. Therapy would be a good thing at this time. Meditation is another good thing. Taking care of your diet, you know, but also, if I dare say, even need to force yourself into doing the things that make you feel beautiful. Maybe you need to go get your hair cut, dyed, colored. Maybe you need to go do a little bit of shopping, a pedicure, manicure, you know, in things like that. If you're a guy, you can go get mani pedis too. They feel good. Trust me, I had Fluff go get one, and he enjoyed it. He actually wants to go get another one. Because they do, you know, he's on his feet so much that, you know, keeping them, you know, cleaned up and feeling good and all that is beneficial. So I do suggest that men go, you know, go pamper yourselves too. You know, it's not just a woman's thing. You guys are allowed to go feel good about yourself too. And hey, Kara, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. And yeah, so that's what I'm seeing right here for you, Aries, is healthy balance is going to start turning these cards into the upright and bringing you the peace that you seek. So go ahead and close this off with one final message from the Moon Magic deck, just to kind of complete the energy. Alrighty. There we go. Gratefully I surrender my struggle. All right, so there's probably an Aries out there that it's clear they've gone through so much. And they are on that halfway out of the dark. You know, how far can you go into the forest before you're on your way out? Halfway, right? So I think you're at that halfway mark here, Aries, and you know what, even though you're like, I've been through the ringer, I've been through so much, I surrender myself to, you know, my higher calling, my higher powers, my higher being, whether that is God or a God of your choosing. And you are ready to allow that beautiful divine presence into you to help guide you through whatever it is that has been putting you, you know, through the ringer here. You know, realizing that even though we're on the ship and we're the captain, sometimes we aren't supposed to steer ourselves through the storm. Okay, it's using too much energy, too much of ourselves, when there's nothing we personally can do about it, right? The storm is there to teach us a lesson. And I'm hearing at this point that the lesson you are ready to finally learn. You know, you are ready to open yourself to that. Even though there's a struggle, the bend and stretch is going to help you grow. Okay, and you're ready for that. You accept it, you understand. If you have not accepted it yet, please do so, because that is the way you're going to free yourself from almost this purgatorious feeling that you've been going through, Aries. All right, so next up for our fire signs is Leo, our wonderful lions of the zodiac. So messages for Leo in this beautiful Sturgeon full moon cycle in August. There we go. All right, you ready, Leo? Let's see what messages we have for Leo. All right, and Leo got 2 cards. Funny how I felt that come as 2 cards. You also got, see, this is a big thing that I'm seeing. This is obviously a theme, and you guys have seen. I'm shuffling the cards, so for these to pop up, that's literally what's meant to pop up for you. But the boundaries thing, healthy and balanced, okay? I am on the right path and divinely guided. Healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. So there you go, Leo. There you go. I'm going to let you absorb that message the way you need to absorb it for you at this time. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just pull the 3 tarot cards to kind of help emulate the message stronger. Get that back over there. One more shuffle for Leo. And let's clarify these messages for Leo for this beautiful full moon cycle. get those messages out there strongly for Leo. You're no longer resisting, okay? Because at one point you were resisting the divine guidance. You were resisting things that would actually fulfill you. You were putting yourself to the side. Look at that. Your happiness and everything. You were putting everything on the back burner. Why, Leo? Why? Yeah, definitely not feeling like you were, you know, being as fruitful in your efforts as you wanted to be. There might be a Leo out there that has gone through, you know, matrimonial disarray. Okay, maybe now with the 5 of Wands, you are like, I'm surrendering myself. I don't want to do this fight anymore. If this isn't meant for me, then I understand it. I may not be at my happiness, my, you know, plexus of happiness right now, but you know what? When we do the work, these things can change, okay? So allowing yourself to be divinely guided to a God of your choosing, it helps you create these boundaries and this centerment and this balance that actually can bring these elements into fruition. I don't feel that these things are too far out of your reach or too far gone. There's no such thing as so dark that you cannot find light or that light cannot exist. All right, Leo, let's get your final message. That one flipped. I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. Maybe at a point where you were like cloaked in your ego, where you're thinking this is the only way, this is the only how, this is the only thing I know. And now you're like, wait a minute, let me stop. Let me reach out to my God and talk to him and enrich myself with that love and sentiment, and making sure that I am understanding that, you know, I don't have to be in control. I don't have to take the burden of knowing everything and how to do everything. I'm okay with being a student. I don't have to view myself as the master, even though Leos are very strong and they're that dominating force. They're that fire energy. There's Leos out there right now, or a Leo specifically, that needed this message, knowing that being novice almost in something has its benefits, because you get the opportunity to learn it in its entirety, learn it in its sanctity. You know, don't not the pressure can be removed. All right. So hopefully those messages for Leo came through. And we are going to go ahead and get Sagittarius reading underway. So Sagittarius, this is for you. Light always shines through the darkness. It does. You can't have darkness without light. You cannot have light without darkness. There is a balance that must always occur. All right, Saggy, let us get your reading underway. And 2 cards for Saggy. Okay, we have the love and intimacy flow into my life effortlessly. Movement awakens my creative spirit. So when we're in love, you know, not just with people, but places, things, ourselves, and we're nurturing that love and we're making it bloom and blossom and letting nothing else really tamper with that vibration that we have, you know, creation, intuition, imagination, everything begins flowing and flowing effortlessly. So we're able to start moving our souls, our bodies, our minds, our energies to have more creative abilities. So these really do hold hands very, very well. And that is a beautiful message coming through for Sagittarius. If it has not happened yet, Saggy, it may be that it is in the mail and you just need to sign upon delivery. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify these messages for Sagittarius. I'm loving that. Aren't these cards like gorgeous? I don't get to use them too often. I use them for moon readings mostly. I have used them in a couple of personal readings, but I just love the positive messages with realistic undertones that they do provide. So let's go ahead and clarify these messages for Sagittarius. during this full moon cycle. We're rebuilding ourselves from the past traumas. With that Tower inverted. Okay, you may have overcome a string of bad luck. You may have be overcoming that string of inability to create, dare I say, misfortune. You've got yourself all together in that tangible sense. Now, right now, it's just all about balancing things, you know. So, like, I don't know if anybody's in the, you know, watching this or even in the chat has ever had an addiction to anything, or they've had to go through an addiction-based process or program. I used to lead AA meetings because I was married to a alcoholic at one time. And I used to host AA and Al-Anon meetings. And one of the things that we say that people experience when they've come out of those situations is the pink cloud syndrome. And what pink cloud is that overwhelmingly awesome euphoric feeling of I can do anything now. It almost feels a little like magical. That's where the pink cloud portion comes from, where you're just like everything's going to be great and everything, but it's shaky because you can definitely fall from that cloud. Okay? So what this does is what this is telling you is, you know, balance yourself because things are going so great right now. We definitely want to seek balance instead of putting like all of our eggs in one basket thinking everything is totally okay, because when we're riding that pink cloud and something bad happens, it is a lot easier for us to have that emotional backslide, because it's like you're so consumed with, you know, positive and higher vibrations and almost being vibrationally high that come down can cause some very intense depression, and it can cause some major backsliding. So as we're coming out of these things and we're balancing ourselves, just keep the balance part in mind. That with good, you need to balance it out with reality. You know, don't get too high into your euphoria that you forget that there is a ground below you. That's kind of the message I'm seeing here for this one, Saggy. And we're going to go ahead and get that closed off with a awesome Moon Magic Oracle. And here we have it. I flowed towards my goal. I am strongly protected as I go. So, you know what? Protecting yourself, grounding energy, things like that. You know, obviously keeping in your meditative and spiritual practice, you know, following the God of your choosing, I always say, it helps. It keeps you feeling protected as you go freely. So that is definitely a balancing factor that's going to keep you from backsliding into these positions that you have come out of. So definitely this reading's perfect for you, Sagittarius, and I think that it's a beautiful group of messages that are coming forward, which is awesome. Alrighty, so next we have our air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If those are one of your signs, please stick around because your readings are coming up, and we're going to start off with our awesome Geminis. Messages for Gemini in our August moon reading, our full moon reading. And if you guys haven't done so, you know, Exploring with Fluffy's in the chat, and if you'll just tell him congratulations on his 6-year anniversary with YouTube, that would be awesome. And also, like I said, if you have not checked out his 6-year anniversary stream, he did it last night. It is in my community tab, but you know, you can always go straight to his YouTube channel and it'll be the latest thing uploaded. It was a guided exploration with Adventures with Nubs, and you know, they explored an old abandoned gas station. It was really cool, and he got to see some interesting stuff. And yeah, Gemini, messages for Gemini from this full moon cycle. another two-carder. All right, Gemini, let's see what we got going on here. With a steady mind, I am connected to our collective experience. So this is falling a lot on our intuitive aspect. So as long as you're keeping your mind focused and clean, cleansed, and open, you'll be able to connect with collective experiences. So things on a higher plane of existence. And I allow stillness to heal and reveal. So this is a person that's definitely going through, Gemini's going through a part where they're just opening themselves up so cleanly and without hesitation to the divine, that it is allowing them to heal past traumas and show them things intuitively, allowing those things to reveal that they would have normally been cloaked with ego and cloaked with so much of our physical form that we forget to open ourselves up to the bigger, more vastness of everything. And I was just having that talk today with a client who had told me, like, I'm going through so much in my physical form right now, and I think it's all bad luck and bad karma. And I told her today, well, I could think the same way. I had a tree fall on my car. I lost my father 2 months ago, and I lost my brother on Sunday. That's some pretty strong tower moment. If I allowed it to be viewed as such, or I could allow it to be, where I'm allowing myself to feel and understand those higher plane of existence lessons and things like that. Us leaving our physical form isn't a bad thing, and I can't think of it like that. I have to think of it as, this is my opportunity to change energy cycles. This is my opportunity to learn and grow from these experiences. So I don't allow it to control me in that aspect. And that's what I'm seeing is a very strong thing, is connecting things with what they really are versus what we think they are, because our ego only allows us to go so far with any message. It allows, like I said in the beginning, we allow ourselves to be based in the opinions of others, and we allow ourselves to be based in the opinion of, the masses. And it's difficult to sit there and say, like, that's all ego. And ego is superficial energy. And so when people judge, when people condemn, when people talk, that's our mind, which is trainable to determine something that normally, in time, whether past or forward, would have defined it differently. So be very careful with what you allow to consume you and confine you and determine you. So what I'm seeing right here is you are not yet moving on from something. You still have some past stuff to heal through. And it is definitely something that you haven't been able to totally accept or move on from or feel good about. It's been a strong conflict in your mind. But even in your physical world, you are definitely been at a conflict either with people or energies or what have you. There's been a strong conflict, and it is poured over into your physical being. It's caused you to not move forward when you should have, or maybe to be too open when you shouldn't have been. So at this point, you're allowing that stillness and things to come out naturally and innately on their own, and you're not fighting against it, or you shouldn't be fighting against it. All right, and it's going to allow you to get past things, okay? But only when we steady ourselves and allow things to be what they are for the reasons that they are, and not consuming ourselves with the whys and hows and all that, because those are all egotistical based things. Those are self-fulfilling, which is ego. And ego does not serve you. We think it does, that's why it's ego. Right here we have, every day I bring radical self-love to mind, body, and spirit. And that is definitely the direction you need to be bringing in to combat these non-fulfilling energies, okay? So just keep reminding yourself, I do love me. I do have the ability. I am powerful enough. I am, okay? All right, Gemini. Hopefully those messages have come through clear and loud for you. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our Libras. Libra. Messages for Libra. August 2022 for this beautiful Sturgeon full supermoon energy. Messages for Libra. All right, that one is coming out. All right. I welcome clear vision and inspired action. Okay, so freeing yourself from mental, emotional roadblocks and letting the new energy come in and really inspire you to where you need to go forward is what I'm getting from this, Libra. But we're going to go ahead and march ourselves straight into our tarot to kind of help us figure out the precise direction Spirit wants us to go with these messages. Hopefully everyone's doing amazing today. And I thank everybody for joining in on this live stream. I know I've had to reschedule it a few times because of internet issues. And I would have gone live from my phone, but in the location that I'm at, I mean, my signal's fine for like text messaging and stuff, but I wouldn't trust it for doing a full-blown stream. It'll be like blotchy and it'll totally like cut out and stuff like that. I just didn't want to do that. So okay, so right now, Libra, what you're doing is surrendering the control, trying to say, I don't have control over everything. I don't have control over what Spirit brings to me, what it enlightens me with, or what it doesn't. You know, I've been trying to, in the past, you try to make the illusion of greatness, like being in control is going to allow me to have what I want when I want it. And you've actually realized that that's honestly the case in some things, but in the best things and the grandest things and the most appropriate things, it's not. So when we drop the control of trying to create these bright new beginnings, we find that, you know, we might not feel as balanced and might not feel as, you know, in control, but there are lessons that come from that, you know, welcoming the ability for things to come through clearer, even if those are the lessons we don't want to hear, or perhaps the situations we don't want to be in. We try to avoid those at all costs, but we've actually halted and made the lessons that are really, really enriching and overall rating to us to slow down or halt completely because we've been so resistant. All right, so we need to allow, you know, we need to welcome and allow, even if we don't like what we hear, even if we don't like what we see, even if we don't like what we feel. They are part of a grander lesson from the divine, and we have to be okay with that. You know, it's like going to the dentist to get your tooth pulled sometimes, even though you know, like, oh man, I gotta face this music. It's one of those things where if you don't do it, it can be worse in the long run, right? So you got to take the small sours so you don't have large bitters. I am courageous and powerful, and you are. You can get through anything. All right, Libra, you have it in you. You've always had it in you. So now is just the time to welcome it and allow it to show you what it needs to show you with the inspired actions and visions. All right, Libra. Hopefully those messages came through loud and clear. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our Aquarius gang. Messages for Aquarius in this beautiful August Sturgeon full supermoon cycle. One more shuffle. And message for Aquarius. And there is 2 there for you. Okay, we are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. The rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life. So the rhythm of my breath is what you put out there, what you vocalize, what you are speaking. If you're out there gossiping like crazy, you're going to find yourself stuck in this nasty, sticky, stagnant energy that doesn't really go anywhere. But if you're speaking like tones and vibrations of happiness and ascension and things like that, guess what? That determines what you are doing in life and determines the energy that you are flowing outward. Hey, Shani sis. And, realizing that we don't need to be so competitive against other people. We are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. So speak proudly of your sisterhood. And by sisterhood, I mean everybody, regardless of gender. Speak amazing things about one another, because there is so much out there that influences us in a negative component. Why do we have to add to that, Aquarius? And I say that to all. Alrighty. Sis, you need to look at your Scorpio reading after this. It's like the second reading, because I'm going backwards to the elements. So Scorpio was the second reading. I don't know if that might apply to you, but there was some guidance with it if it did. If not, then I wouldn't worry about it. All right, one more shuffle and messages to clarify. Let's clarify this for Aquarius. Let's clarify these messages. Alrighty, getting back into your Empress mode, not letting things tear you down. Understanding when people talk about you or you talk about them, that's a definite reflection of our inner self. So, to show that you're a strong woman is to empower other women to be strong. We got more than 3 cards. Let's see. Combating that energy, that 5 of Wands with that 4 of Wands. So, you may not always feel what you say is true, but you fake it till you make it, even if you are in resistance of it, okay? There is no good vibration that'll ever come from being nasty and derogatory, but our movements going forward. So you're showing me here with forward movement going into the 4 and 5 of Wands that you are going to, how you are relieving yourself from certain thought processes can be very combative in you. All right. Sometimes sacrificing our own happiness and realizing that the lessons of our own happiness, having those things not come into fruition or being taken from us, were actually lessons that we were supposed to be learning from. But instead, we chose to be a little bit more combative about those energies and be a little bit more resistant to that lesson and say, no, I was supposed to have these amazing things and I didn't. So I'm going to spew, hatred or negativity. Don't do that. In order to be our one true self, we have to be allowing of energies to come through. We have to be allowing of messages to come through. Like I said, it's like going to the dentist and finding out that, you have to have root canal done. And you may not like the procedure, but it can get worse if we don't go through it. So because we didn't take care of ourselves the way we were supposed to, we end up having to go through things to fix our errors. And sometimes we don't want to fix our errors. We want to pretend that our errors weren't our fault or weren't our doing. So why do I have to fix them? Well, you do because they are. And if you don't fix them, they end up getting worse. But either way, you are loved. So at times when you think, Aquarius, that somebody doesn't love me, maybe they're speaking poorly about me, maybe they're, my own family, my own flesh and blood that doesn't care much for me, just know that, yeah, they do. And people say nasty shit all the time. That doesn't, like I said, it's superficial. Feelings are so superficial. Think higher, think powerfuler, think beyond that, think, eternal love, think divine guidance, think, when we're in our flesh suit, we are like cockroaches on the planet. Like, we don't know what the hell we're doing half the time. We're trying, but in the grand scheme of things, if you think about higher ascension and who we are as human beings, like, we can't be trusted with shit, right? We do stupid stuff, and that's how we learn. So, when it comes to our grand mastery or anything like that, it's one of those things where we're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have thought better of that. I probably should have done that. Yeah, because, when we're so cloaked in our egos. Once again, our egos are our ultimate destroyer half the time. When we're so cloaked in the opinions of others and these false superficial guiding factors, it really diminishes us. So when we are open and we are more divinely guided and we allow nature and spirit to speak to us and guide us, guess what? We realize how loved we truly are. All right? So don't let the opinion of others determine how loved less or loved more you might be. Because I know there's a part of us that's like, I tell you right now, if I get 10,000 likes on this reading, if I get 5 million views on this reading, does this make me a better person? No. All it does is that many people saw what I said and how I read these cards and liked it. You know, how I did, people wanted to view it more because of that, because there's a freaking algorithm on YouTube that, decides whether or not it's going to push a video out to so many people. Okay, it doesn't really do shit for us, right? But, yeah, sometimes it makes us feel good that our work is appreciated. Hey, Black Dragon. But it doesn't mean that as a soul, as a independent being on this planet, as a person, that I'm any more better than anybody else that's ever done a reading on YouTube or anywhere else. It really doesn't. It's not the determining factor. Okay, so think of it like that. All right, we're going to go and head into our last element of the zodiac, our earth sign. So if you are a Taurus, Virgo, a Capricorn, stick around as your reading is coming up. And we're going to get started with our wonderful Taurus gang. And one more shuffle to get the energies for Taurus for this awesome Sturgeon full supermoon of August 2022, our last supermoon of 2022. How amazing is that? And if you are wondering why it's called a full or a Sturgeon full moon, or what is a supermoon, I kind of laid out the details of that in the beginning of the video, so you can always flip back and find out. And 2 cards for you. All right, Taurus. With focus and intention, I can shape energy in any direction. You can make anything happen. That's what that means. As long as you speak it, say it, and do it, it will become it. All right? And I welcome clear vision with inspired action. So, you're allowing, once we are inspired to do something, once something gets a hold of us, we're allowing that information to come through. We're allowing to see where it takes us and guides us. That's why that eagle is right there and she is soaring. Once that stuff is there, we're allowing it to come through without resistance and with genuine flow. So when we do that in correlation of being focused with intention and ability and all of that, because we have the ability to do anything that we want, right? We are the gatekeepers of our own collective and our own existence. So you can literally do whatever you want. You just have to have the determination to make it happen, and also the patience, because most people think if it doesn't happen within 10 seconds, it's not meant to be. No, some things can take 10 years to manifest. So you missed your sign, puppy. That was a few back. So let's clear. And for those of you that don't know, Puppy is my daughter, and she sometimes comes into the chat saying words. She does that just to see if her mom's paying attention, I guess. I don't know. Calling people ugly. Brat. All right, you have the 4 of Cups in reverse. So now you're realizing that, you're not limited to what is in front of you, because there's always something hidden behind the scenes for you. And now you're willing to take that into practice and into action. You have the Knight of Pentacles, but it is inverted. So you haven't taken a strong action in certain components because you were waiting for that realization, that aha moment with that Ace of Swords. And that is what I'm seeing is, you are going to have that realization that is going to inspire that direct higher, movement into materializing the things that you want. And this is definitely reflecting what is being said in this card. And let me get your Magic Moon card. Sorry, I was scrolling up to see if I had missed something. No, she's talking to her mom. There we go. She's not talking about you, Black. She's She's got a little more social anxiety than to just call people ugly. She'll call me that. Gratefully, I surrender my struggle. So, without resistance, you're no longer going to accept that your struggles are limited to what is in front of you, but you're going to say it is a struggle that I am occurring in order to grow from this, so I do not repeat this same situation, and at least not in its entirety. So, you're going to struggle to it and allow it to be divinely guided and inspired action to get yourself through it and grow from it. Alrighty. Awesome messages, Taurus, and hopefully those came through loud and clear for you. And next up is our wonderful Virgo gang. So if you are a Virgo or Virgo is in your chart, this is for you. Virgo might be one of your big three, and these messages might come through loud for you. I'm starting to get, because I've been doing so many readings, I'm getting my calluses on my thumbs back. I took a break from readings for a while. And I was like, yeah, I don't have those annoying calluses on my fingers. Because they can hurt. From some decks are really, really stiff. And in order to shuffle them requires some thumb strength. And you end up with like these like awesome little calluses that I am now forming again. So messages for Virgo. Alrighty, one card for Virgo. The rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life. And as we heard in our previous reading, this very much depicts what you speak into existence becomes what comes forward to you. This is basically universal law. So it directs how you feel, the way you act, the way you approach things, the way you allow guidance, everything. So if we're speaking a lot of negative, guess what's going to happen? If we're speaking a lot of positive, guess what we're inviting forward? All right, so let's go ahead and get the tarot cards out for Virgo, and let's go ahead and send this message a little bit stronger to those Virgos out there that need it. Show them where to better apply this. Just any messages regarding this awesome oracle message. Let's see. Clarify this card for Virgo. Okay. With the Hierophant in reverse to the Ace of Swords, allowing divine guidance. Okay, so there are some things that you have not yet let go of that have made you feel very, very emotional. All right, you're trying to be truthful though. All right, you're trying to be like openly inspired and truthful. You're trying to allow things to come through, but you're a little bit more closed off than you should be. You haven't quite moved on from something that has had some higher emotional regression for you is what I want to say. Like something that's really hurt you, something that you could have walked away from and didn't, or should have and didn't. And with this Hierophant right here, you need to be opening yourself up a lot more to the advice, to the divine, things like that. Maybe that's why there's a Virgo out there that has been speaking some negativity into existence or bearing false tongue. Maybe you were like saying it but not really believing it. And now it's saying, in order to flip these cards, you need to rely on the word of who you follow, and things like that. And, being more truthful with that. All right. So let's get your Moon Magic card to kind of close this up for Virgo. So Virgo, you gotta, open yourself up to those higher messages. And those are definitely going to help you speak stronger, speak your guidance into existence better. And here we go for Virgo. I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. So that should be your mantra about past traumas, past pain, anything that is anchoring you down. Just say, I let go, I release it, and it is so. Just feel it leave. Just feel it find its way where it needs to go and release it from you. All right? With this Ace of Swords, that is the possibility. All right? So say it, do it, breathe it, be it. Virgo, this message is going to speak. Just stare at this for a few minutes and just realize you can let it go. Can't you just feel it leaving you? Like that's, I'm feeling it for you. Like there's a verse out there that is literally saying, all right, I let it go. I have seen my potential. I have seen my capability. I know where I can go, and they are releasing the anchor. So, congratulations, Virgo. I mean, sometimes we look at messages as negative, but they're really, really positive overall. All right, and last but certainly not least, our wonderful goats of the zodiac are Capricorn Yang. Get a couple of shuffles in for Capricorn in this moon cycle, this beautiful Sturgeon full super moon of August 2022. Messages for Capricorn. All right, right off the bat. All right. 2 cards. I live each moment with a presence of gratitude. See, she's impregnated by that moon. You know, she could be physically pregnant. She can be impregnated by the energies of this beautiful super moon, this manifestative moon. She's allowing it to enrich her life and grow and, you know, germinate within her. And my instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacle. There is a Capricorn or many out there that are facing a lot. So they're saying, these cards are saying, utilize this moon cycle, everything about it. If you are not familiar with a Sturgeon full moon and how it applies to your sign, or how it may just apply to you, look that up, get educated right now, Capricorn, because you can definitely utilize this energy for your higher calling, for your greater good. Hey, KJ sis, it's been a minute. How are you, sweetheart? Welcome to the channel. Been missing you like crazy. Good seeing you on here. Everybody, make sure you say hi to KJ. She is another amazing reader. And she's extremely intuitive. Like, if you've never seen KJ work her magic, you have missed out. Oh, I'm so glad you're doing amazing, sister. I send you so much amazing energy. I dedicate my moonstone to you, allowing it to enrich you and all the beauty that you are always. Alrighty, so for Capricorn, let's clarify these cards. Let's get some direction for Capricorn here. So, balance. There's some balance. Could be financial balance that Capricorn's going through. You might be at a point where you're not really sure which direction you should be going in. All right, there's just a lot going on, Capricorn, and you're trying to hold on, but you know what? The future's there. Just keep running towards it. And there's you. And don't get all twisted and bent. I know a lot of people hate when I say that the devil card is Capricorn. I didn't make the rules on this one, all right? The devil energy is just this, well, number one, goat and goat. But it is just a strong, it's almost stubborn energy. Capricorns are very heavily grounded. And this energy, because sometimes Capricorns being so stubborn, we're so fixed in the idea of something and so locked to it. And that's kind of where you get that devil energy, that control, things like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that all Capricorns are evil. Okay, there are a few, but they're not, you know. It's just they can be very stern and strict. Not strict, well, some of them, I'm a strict Capricorn, but it literally means you can be controlled. It is very like earthly, possession, things like that, that they are so fixed with money and things that can consume somebody, that type of meaning, okay? But it literally, when it pops up in a Capricorn meaning, it could just literally be a representation of you. All right, this is very specific to Capricorn. It could be that, or it could be something has been controlling of you and kind of manipulating your thoughts and things like that. It can also be, you know, sexual energy and stuff like that. You know, it can also mean like, you know, addiction based things and, you know, stuff that would influence of you. Hey, Sandra sis. So for the specific Capricorn out there, even though, you know, you're not feeling like you don't really know how this is all supposed to work, and you feel like what do I do? I've experienced so much, and like I don't know how to balance it all, or so much has changed or anything like that. Allow this moon cycle to really impregnate you with possibility, and allow for the moment, where you just have that spontaneous influx of, I can do this. Like you say, my instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacle, and that is very true. At Capricorns, earth signs in general, but mostly a lot of people can acclimate to anything that occurs. Sudden movements, sudden changes. I know, I'm a Capricorn and I've had a lot this week. So let's go ahead and close this off with messages for Capricorn. Let's close this reading off for Capricorn. Get another shuffle buffle in there. Let's get a message for Capricorn. All right. And it came out with some jump. I let go, I release, I am perfect. I am within perfect possibility. Okay, relying on your instincts, Capricorn, and you have them and put them into place, utilizing this energy, utilizing what this brings forward to you. So, dare I say, so let it be. Just allow it to be. All right. Do the movements you need to. It may not feel good at first, but you know what? You're within your instinctual capabilities to face any obstacle. You can do this. You're smarter than the average, and you can get this under control very easily. And I normally don't do this, but I don't get to see my beautiful KJ in here too often. I just want to pull a moon card specifically for her. I don't know why, but I'm feeling a little bit drawn to do so. So this can apply based off of the new moon, or this can apply just based off of any energy that Spirit wants to allow me to show Miss KJ. And I focus on what is working. And Miss KJ, I think you've been doing that amazingly, because I see your Facebook and stuff, and I see the energy you put into things. And I know you're like, I'm doing me, and I've been doing me, and I know how to do me. And I know how to focus on what is good for me. And let me get one more to close that off just for you. Actually, I gave you two. Two flipped over, so I got to take them both. My words and actions are of love, compassion, are of beauty, compassion, and love, and that is so true. And I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. How about that? That is awesome. That is totally Miss KJ right now. If you are not subscribed to Miss KJ, you should, just to show her that extra love. But this is completely how I've been seeing her. She has been gaining her strength so much, and it's just a little something extra for you, sis. A little something extra. I want to thank everybody who has joined me on this beautiful full moon reading for the month of August 2022. Like I said, if you didn't get a chance to go out and charge up your tarot cards, your necklaces, jewelry, your crystals, your divination items, if you didn't get to make some awesome moon water, you still have tonight to do that, because you still get the moon energy for about another day or so. And so if you didn't get a chance to do that awesome moon bath ritual, it is a super moon, so that energy is going to be a little more concentrated. You still can use it. So if you missed out, please do so tonight if you're curious. If you're curious on how to make moon water, basically in a colored vessel that, in a clear vessel, but people use colored ones too, like, pink glass and blue glass to enhance beauty and fortitude and intuition. Or you can just put it out there in a clear vessel and let those moonbeams concentrate. You can put crystals around it to charge that water even further. So you can put water soluble crystals in it, and you can use those for watering our plants, for placing in tea, our baths, just plain drinking, adding a drop here and there, blessing your rooms, things like that. It's a beautiful thing to place around us to kind of charge our areas. And KJ does drink crystal water, and it has enriched and helped her with so many health benefits. And it really is, just know your crystals and which ones you're using. Because some of them aren't safe in water. So just be familiar with those. But crystal water is beautiful. And if those aren't safe and you still want the properties, you can get those specific vessels that have the center thingy that you can just put them in. They don't touch the water, but it charges it, or place them around it. And it totally intensifies with the same property. And you can meditate on it. Just fill it with intent. Fill everything with intent and beauty and guidance and everything. And harvesting the power of the moon is something that has been going on since the beginning of time. We use it for our crops. We have farmers' almanacs that know the different moon cycles for a reason. Utilize the beauty and strength and abilities and vibrations of our moons and the beauty that comes from our earth in crystals and so forth. Thank you so much for being present for these messages, my 12 signs, and for everybody that has been in the chat. Hey, Matt. It was a beautiful reading for all 12 signs, I can tell you that much. And thank you always and once again for allowing me to read for you. If your messages didn't resonate with one sign, please check your moon, rising, and even Venus for love placements and so forth. Please take care, stay blessed, and don't let anything weigh you down, because everything is a temporary movement here on earth. And don't let the words of others implement you so much and impact you so much that you can't move past those vibrational plexus, because like I said, it is all temporary here while we're here. We're going to learn so much more in our next phase of life, and we're going to look back and go, oh boy. All right, so please take care, stay blessed, everybody. KJ, thank you so much for gracing us here today in our reading. You are the best. I loved and missed you so much, sister. Speaking of, let me go ahead and do this real quick while we're here. Welcome to the Blue Crew. And I will see you guys all sometime between now and forever. Take care, guys.